Okay, so on this drawing, as you can see, we have a building on the left-hand side with a water faucet that's sticking out of the side of the building. It has a water hose attached to it, which is pointing directly at the flower, okay? So that's our destination with the water. Let's assume that you got this flower in the middle of the summer and you planted it and you went on vacation for 2 weeks and you totally forgot to water it. So when you came back, it will go down and it will be almost dead, so it will go down to the level of death. Okay, so first thing you want to do is to get the water flowing back out so you can shower the flower with the water. Basically what it needs. Once that happens, the life expression of the flower will go back up to the level of health, okay? Now, when that happens, what if somebody comes over and puts their foot right on the water hose, okay? When that happens, that cuts out the water supply. So now we start to see the life expression of the flower go back down almost to death. In order to basically save the flower again, we basically have to move this foot, okay? Let me explain to you how it works in the body. Just like the water faucet, our brain basically controls everything that the body does. So we call that the source, okay? It sends out the message or information down the spinal cord, just like the water hose carries out the water. It goes out to the peripheral nerves to different destinations. We'll call, let's say first one, let's say it goes to your organ system like your heart. Second one could go to your muscles. Third one could be going to your joints. And the other one could be going to soft tissue like your skin. Okay, for the sake of this drawing, we just say there are only 4 destinations. Now, the cool thing about the brain and the spinal cord, we call that central nervous system. They actually have protection in forms of bones. Okay, so the spinal cord actually has spine and the brain actually has a skull around it. Okay, now just like this water hose with pressure on this due to somebody putting, stepping on it, it could be equivalent to your bone basically shifting just like so, starting putting pressure right on the nerve. Okay, let's assume this is going to your right arm. When the studies have shown that if we put a weight of a dime directly on the nerve, it decreases it by 60%. So now you're only left with 40%, which creates a lot of discrepancy of strength and function. So your body actually has to compensate over. Okay. Now in chiropractic terms, this misalignment that puts pressure or this foot, we call this subluxation. Subluxation is not a misalignment. However, it is a pressure that directly applied to the nervous system that decreases function and has symptoms. Okay? This has to be present for us to be subluxation, and me as a chiropractor, we focus on finding and removing that because that creates problems for the body. Once we take this pressure off, okay? Once we take this pressure off, water flows back out to the flower, right? Now, when that happens, we shoot back up as our life source expression, okay? Now, what we start finding is that people start to go back down in about a week or 2, and this is where people start feeling pain. So they come back and get treatment again, and in a week or 2, they come back down again. It was basically like your faucet was dirty before we turned the water on. We assumed that all the water was clean. However, some were dirty and some were clean. So we could never maintain this. So first thing we had to do was identify how can we move this faucet, the dirty stuff inside the faucet. That represented how can our brain communicate to different areas of the body with the right information. Now, this is our 10th year doing this, and we start seeing a different type of patterns with other people. People coming in with an inverted faucet, okay? That represented the head position, the skull position was off. Now what that represented was this. It still worked, but you had to go upstream against gravity, and it was coming down at a slower rate, okay? It all had to do with efficiency. Okay, so efficiency decreased. So we first look at how can we increase efficiency so we're not compensating. And number 2, are we sending out the proper messages down to wherever we need to get to? Number 3 was removing subluxation down the stream so we can start to take pressure off to increase function and symptoms. So once that happens, we go up to here. On our next video, we'll explain to you how we can actually level up more and more on your next visit.